Waves were crashing over me, every breath felt hard to breathe. I was sinking in the deep, where no light could ever reach. Tried to fight it on my own, built my strength on fragile bones, but the night was far too strong. I was losing all along. Every prayer felt incomplete, falling down before your feet. Words were breaking as they came, I could barely say your name, but you heard my silent cry, saw the tears I tried to hide, and before I turned around, you were already there somehow. When you walked into my storm, everything began to change. Winds grew quiet at your voice, nothing ever stayed the same. You stood right where I was drowning, pulled me out and called my name. When you walked into my storm, nothing ever stayed the same. Thunder couldn't drown you out, you were louder than my doubts. Every fear began to shake when your presence filled the space. I could feel the darkness break as your light began to chase every shadow from my soul. You were taking back control. I remember how it felt when my strength began to melt, but your hand reached down for mine, pulled me out just in time. Every lie I used to know started losing all its hold. Truth was rising like the sun, telling me I'm not undone. When you walked into my storm, everything began to change. Winds grew quiet at your voice, nothing ever stayed the same. You stood right where I was drowning, pulled me out and called my name. When you walked into my store, nothing ever stayed the same. Now I'm standing on the waves where I thought I'd find my grave, looking back at where I fell, at the story I can tell. You are never far away, even in my darkest days. Every step I couldn't see, you were walking there with me. Now my fear has lost its sound, faith is louder all around. I can hear your voice so clear, even when the storm is near. I don't run the way I did, I don't hide the way I lived. Now I know who fights for me, you're my calm inside the sea. When you walked into my storm, everything began to change. Winds grew quiet at your voice, oh, nothing ever stayed the same. You stood right where I was drowning, pulled me out and called my name. When you walked into my store, nothing ever stayed the same. So I lift my hands in trust, even when the waves rise up. I remember what you've done, how you saved me when I sunk Every storm has to bow to the power of you now. Even chaos hears your voice. Even darkness has no choice. When you step into the fight, everything must make it right. You walked in, you walked in, and everything changed. Ooh. Now I stand, 'cause you made a way. When you walked into my storm, you became my peace forever. Waves were crashing over me. Every breath felt hard to breathe. I was sinking in the deep, where no light could ever reach. Tried to fight it on my own, build my strength on fragile bones, but the night was far too strong. I was losing all along. Every prayer felt incomplete, falling down before your feet. Words were breaking as they came. I could barely say your name, but you heard my silent cry, saw the tears I tried to hide. And before I turned around, you were already there somehow. When you nothing ever stayed the same. You stood right where I was drowning, pulled me out and called my name. When you walked into my storm, nothing ever stayed the same. Drown you out, you were louder than my doubts. Every fear began to shake when your presence filled the space. I could feel the darkness break as your light began to chase every shadow from my soul. You were taking back control. Nothing ever stayed the same. You stood right where I was drowning, pulled me out and called my name. When you walked into my storm, nothing ever stayed the find my grave, looking back at where I fell, at the story I can tell. You were never far away, even in my darkest days. Every step I couldn't see, you were walking there with me. Now my fear has lost its sound. Faith is louder all around. I can hear your voice so clear, even when the storm is near. I don't run the way I did, I don't hide the way I live. Now I know who fights for me. You're my calm inside the sea. When you walked into my storm, everything began to change. Winds grew quiet at your voice, nothing ever stayed the same. You stood right where I was drowning, pulled me out and called my name. When you walked into my storm, nothing ever stayed the same. So I lift my hands in trust, even when the waves rise up. I remember what you've done, how you saved me when I sunk. Every storm becomes a stage for the power of your name. Now my worship comes alive every time the waters rise. Let the thunder come again, I won't fear it like back then. 'Cause I've seen what you can do, how you break the impossible through. You don't leave me in the rain, you don't walk away in pain. You step in and take control and bring peace back to my soul. You speak and the winds obey, you move and the waves give way. Every storm has to bow to the power of you now. Even chaos hears your voice, even darkness has no choice. When you step into the fight, everything must make it right. You walked in, you walked in, and everything changed. Now I stand, 'cause you made a way. When you walked into my storm, you became my peace forever.